Hey everybody, it's Lynn Girardi. Just chilling. It's about 98 degrees and I'm just chilling. It's so hot, I didn't even put on any makeup. But I wanted to do this video and share with you a great message that was underscored for me today. Even though I'm a sweaty mess and the hat looks kind of weird, hopefully it's fun. But the message is, how can you teach others about something that you're still struggling with yourself? How can you teach others about something that you're still struggling with yourself? Can you really help them? And that was one of the things that I had been kind of struggling with myself for the last couple of years, as I was trying to figure out about doing a YouTube channel. And my wonderful spiritual entrepreneurial mentor, Jennie Friedman, kept telling me, you can share just about your experience as a caregiver, and someone who's building their entrepreneurial business despite their caregiving challenges, or who's trying to still follow their passions and do self-care despite their life challenges with caregiving, in my case. And I wonder if that's something that might have been a consideration of yours as well. Have you been wanting to do a YouTube channel and help inspire people? And meanwhile, you've still been struggling yourself with whatever situation you're in, but you felt like you still want to do a YouTube channel, you still want to share with others, and you would like to help inspire them, but you kind of feel like a quote-unquote fraud, or not good enough yet, or not over the challenging mountain that you feel you need to get over before you can teach others anything of value or help inspire them in any way. Anyways, today, so Jennie Friedman was always, my mentor, was always telling me, just share what you have, even if you're in a bad mood, share what you can, tell them whatever you're going through and any little inspiration you've had for yourself on the way, and maybe other people will relate to that if they're in that situation, similar situation as you, and you'll be helping them. But I really couldn't see it. And I kept saying, but how can I teach people and give them advice when I'm I feel like I'm drowning in the challenges myself? I said, I feel like that's like you're asking me to teach people to swim when I was thrown overboard in an ocean, and I'm just doggy paddling to get through and save my own life. Well, turns out I feel like this is what's happening because a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I took this health program, a fitness challenge, weight loss challenge, healthy eating challenge. That was very easy. It happens to be called Energized Health. And it got me walking again daily as part of the program. My doing that helped me to break out of some of the depression and anxiety of being a caregiver who has been in between jobs and in between businesses, let's say, and been at the house most of the time just dealing with caregiver stuff. This program got me out of the house, walking with a kind of a purpose and a community and accountability. So it was easier for me to stick to than me just saying I'll take a walk every day on my own. That was not pushing me out of the house. So what was happening was, it's like Abraham Hicks says, you have so much freedom as a soul, you're free to choose bondage. I had so much freedom, not freedom, but like freedom from having a quote-unquote official job and not necessarily following a healthy diet, just eating to numb the pain and try to forget my life challenges and caregiving challenges, and sleeping late and all this stuff without any kind of structure. I had so much freedom in that way because I was home in a not free spot as far as doing this caregiving like daily. I wound up, it really backfired on myself because I was so immersed in the caregiving challenges and stress that the anxiety and depression increased so much that I couldn't have the clarity to even think of doing these videos and sharing anything with anybody. So I just couldn't see it doing this kind of thing in the situation I was in. Anyway, I wound up, like I said, in this case, that little mini health challenge. I mean, the online like activity for 5 days to help lose a few pounds, got me walking every day, and the movement and the sunshine and the fresh air and being in nature where I choose to walk really helped me to get some clarity back and energy back and enthusiasm, and getting me to eat healthier, drink more water. And I really thank God, thanks to that program too, am feeling a lot better. I still have caregiving stuff I have to do, but I also had written down some intentions about a week ago of what I do want in life. I spoke about that in another video. And it really did seem that those intentions started shifting my circumstances with my caregiving for the better, where I'm having more time for self-care and following my passions. I'm getting more help from family and my caregiving partner in crime, my father, who's the person who I'm helping. Like he started helping himself more. So some great shifts have been happening. And now, today I wound up hearing, I got back into spiritual alignment. That's what I would call it, positive spiritual alignment. So when you get into that more positive space, in my understanding, in my opinion, you're more connected to God's inspiration, and then the creativity comes back. You get that flow of creativity again, those creative ideas, the resourcefulness. You feel more hopeful and playful and enthusiastic and energized again. And that's why I had the energy to do more of these videos and to start building my business again. So the last thing I want to say about all of this was today I, quote unquote, synchronistically, with the help of the law of attraction, I believe, attracted listening to a YouTube video. This happens to be by Bashar, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, and who to me is a very positive speaker. But and someone was asking him something about how can I teach people when I would like to inspire people, but how can I? And he said something like to her, well, so just do it. She said, yeah, but how can I? I'm still struggling myself in this situation. How can I? What do I have to offer? And he said something like, when you're struggling like that, when you're in it, you're the best person to help teach other people about what you're learning, what lessons you're learning in life from all this. And you're the one who could help them like heal, that they're working with God to heal themselves with whatever issue, because you're in it. And when you help them, you wind up helping and healing yourself of this situation. And this situation that you have, this challenge, starts to shift for the better, mainly because you have to look at the challenge that you're in and consider what is the good that is coming out of this, because it's sort of like you probably attracted this situation or backed yourself into a wall to learn something in a very uncomfortable way. This is my interpretation. So you kind of attracted this situation to finally learn this particular lesson in this, and it had to get this uncomfortable for you in order to learn the lesson. And you could teach other people about that, and then you'll both move forward and heal. And I'm just thinking, I'm trying to think, one of the things that I feel is that I'm really learning this whole lesson about how important self-care and self-love and worthiness of oneself is. Because if you get stuck in a situation where somebody really needs your help, and they need a lot of it, now when you're in a situation where it seems like you have no time at all for yourself, to help yourself, to do self-care, that's when you realize how extremely important self-care is, when you don't have time for yourself, because then you start kind of falling apart in body, mind, and spirit. Your health can suffer. Mine has through this situation. It's getting a lot better now since I started doing this self-care and these health protocols for myself, and doing the movement, the exercise, and eating more healthy, and getting back to following my passions, and getting back to setting up my business projects. So really the caregiving situation has really taught me that, and hopefully I'm helping to teach others or inspire others out there who are suffering and with the same challenge. And I know that it's kind of an epidemic, as my mentor called it. Caregiving is a huge situation throughout society lately. People are really struggling as they try to take care of their loved ones and still have a happy, healthy life themselves. So if I can do anything to help with that, from going through this so far, probably over a decade, with a tiny break in between for both parents. Thankfully, with help from my sister, and we have an attendant or two. But with thanks to God, I'm getting through, and I hope it's helping you, whatever I'm sharing here. Thank you so much. And I know there's also a caregiving documentary. On PBS TV today by Bradley Cooper, because this is quite an issue, and people need a lot of help with it. So maybe we'll be part of the movement to help people through these situations. Have a great day. With God, all good things are possible. Take care. Thanks for following. Bye-bye.